So to start off, my scary zombie slash blood and gore slash whatever you want to call it, basically. It's just a general idea of like a scary, gory look, and you can kind of alternate it to put wherever you want. This was completely not necessary at all. I was playing around and decided to apply some scars tattoos that I used last year in my zombie tutorial. It's proper cringe-worthy, but I will link it down below if you'd like to go watch last year's zombie makeup look. So once I apply those temporary tattoos, the main kind of focus of this makeup look is the kind of burn wound type thing, and to create this you're going to want to take some liquid latex on a sponge, and this is quite a time consuming process to get a really good effect. So you want to start off by applying several layers of liquid latex, just using pouncing motions all over the places that you'd like the wound to be applied. In between layers, just quickly dry them with a hairdryer. Don't put the hairdryer too close to your face because it will kind of burn and be too hot. And then you want to add another layer and another layer until you've got about 5 or 6 layers. And this is again quite a time consuming process, but I promise you the effects are amazing, and once you've got the hang of it, it is so simple and so effective to do. So I decided to do kind of like half of my face and down the shoulder and on my neck as well. If you wanted to go all out, you could do this all over your face, you could do it on half of your face. This is just a big idea for you if you want to kind of do like a gory look but don't really know where to kind of go to. You just want to take some inspiration from it, or you can copy it step by step. It's completely up to you. So then applying another layer of liquid latex and another layer of liquid latex, and just keep going until you are covered in liquid latex. And when you're drying it, you want to kind of notice that it will go almost see-through when it's nearly dry, and you want to get it as dry as possible. Obviously it will feel quite sticky, but you don't want it super wet, otherwise it just won't work with you. And I've done this before where I've just got too impatient, I haven't bothered to dry it in between. Once you've applied a decent amount of liquid latex, apply another very thin layer, and then you want to stick on pieces of ripped up loo roll. Just rip it so it's 1 ply, or then bits of cotton wool work really well. And you want to kind of move them around your skin, put them on the liquid latex. You can rip pieces away, pull pieces away. This is just for the texture of the wound. And bear in mind it will get very messy, so make sure you vacuum after you're done. Apply mixtures of loo roll and cotton wool, and then once you kind of got a patch that you like the look of, just go ahead and set that into place using some liquid latex. With the cotton it is a little bit fiddly, but just keep going and I promise you it will turn out amazing. Just keep patting away and adding more in places. I really like the look of the mixture of the loo roll and the cotton wool because it creates a really kind of gruesome textured effect. The cotton wool adds a very kind of like tissue look almost. So say for example if you've got a really deep wound and you can see the tissue through the wound, that's almost what it looks like, and the tissue is amazing creating that kind of burnt wound eaten texture. Sounds gross, but it's a Halloween tutorial. So just apply pieces around the face, rip it off, play around. You can add as much or as little as you like in certain places. It's the best thing about this kind of makeup look is you can really go nuts with it, or you can just apply a very simple kind of cut across your cheek or cut across your neck. It's completely up to you. The possibilities of the wounds are endless. So I'm just setting that all into place using the liquid latex. And yeah, I just kind of got carried away, to be honest. I actually was going to a family member's later in the evening for a chill out kind of movie session, so I didn't really feel like covering my whole body and stuff, because later on you will find when removing all of this liquid latex and the makeup, the best thing to do is take a very oil based makeup remover and soak it in. Then I'm applying some contact lenses, some creepy ones. The creepier the better. I like these ones with the white and then the black on the pupil. Then applying whatever foundation you like. I didn't want to use an expensive foundation because I thought it was going to be a waste because I wasn't actually going to wear this out. So I just applied it all over the face using a foundation brush, and then I didn't like how slow it was taking, so I went to my Sigma flat top kabuki brush and applied it all over the face, just buffed it in as normal. That when it came to on top of the fake wound, just kind of used stippling motions. Like I was saying earlier, with the oil-based makeup remover, when removing this stuff, because it is very strong, you just want to soak the cotton pad in some oil-based makeup remover and leave it on for a few seconds before trying to scrub it off, because it will hurt. So just be very gentle when taking this stuff off. So I'm blending that all down the neck as well because I'm very pale at the moment because I don't see the point in fake tanning because I'm doing lots of makeup tutorials. Then onto the eyes, I did a super quick kind of little bit glam everyday kind of look. If you do want to see a full everyday makeup look, there is a link to that down below, and it was also my most recent video. Then I'm taking a dark brown shadow under the lower lash line just to kind of make them look a little bit more dead. And then whatever's left on the blending brush I took under my eyes where you would normally highlight, because you want to bring some darkness to that area, because as far as I'm aware, kind of zombie wounded creatures don't really tend to sleep, you know. Then I decided to contour my nose. To be honest, I did go a little bit heavy handed with this, so I just took my finger afterwards and blended it out as much as I could. And I'm always honest with you guys when I feel like I've made a little mistake, so I definitely went way too heavy handed on that. Then I also took some of the dark brown on the inner corners of my eyes to kind of deepen it up a little bit. I took a shimmery brown shade on the lid of my eyes, nothing fancy at all, and then blended it out using a fluffy brush. Then added a little bit of smoke on the outer corner. I wanted to be the kind of one that looked like she was all glam but turned into a zombie, you know, that kind of look. And she has good brows and good eye makeup for a zombie, so yeah. Once it's all smoked out, I applied some liquid liner with a nice sharp wing to the outer corner. Again, nothing super fancy. I didn't bother applying fake eyelashes as my lashes are super long already at the moment, but if you wanted to, you so totally could. Again, the limits are endless. The limit does not exist. If anyone got that Mean Girls reference, then you're a star, and put a comment in there down below thingy if you got that reference. So applying some mascara to my lashes, and then you want to go absolutely nuts and just kind of destroy your skin, basically, your fake skin. Get some tweezers, some little cuticle scissors, and just really go nuts in creating the wounds. You can go a tiny bit, you can add loads. I went quite nuts on this, and I feel like the bigger the holes and the more spontaneous the holes in the wounds, the better it looks. And the best thing about it is because the tissue and the cotton wool has a kind of natural sort of rough but soft thing, you'll get what I mean when you do it yourself. It creates a really kind of realistic looking texture, and this is why this method is so amazing. You're going to pull bits apart, create nice little holes in there like you've just been eaten and attacked by a fellow zombie. You're having a zombie war. That looks gross. I wasn't cutting my skin, I was cutting the tissue, I promise. But be very careful if you're using the scissors, because you don't want to cut your actual skin. Then into all the holes that I've got around my face, or all the really deep parts of it, you want to go ahead and start shading and highlighting those areas. So what I'm doing to really shade them in and make them look really deep and nasty, you'll notice as I'm doing this it almost looks like I actually have a hole in my face, which is amazing. So you want to take a synthetic brush and a black gel eyeliner or a black cream base, or whatever you have to hand, or even a black lipstick, and top up with a black eyeshadow to keep it in place. Whatever you have at home will work. I just took a black gel liner, this one's from Maybelline, and then just filled in all those holes, really got into all those nooks and crannies, just in case that in photos it can kind of pick up if you don't fill them in. So I wanted to make it look really realistic by just going in all the nooks and crannies, and then taking a very thin liner brush and then filling in the other deep patches and adding some kind of texture and dimension onto the wound, and blending up that little bit because I applied too much black on the outer edge and it looked really weird. So just, you know, going ahead, filling all the little holes in your face, making them look all pretty. So you just want to fill them all in using the thin brush. You're just creating holes in your face, as gross as that is, and it already is starting to look pretty gross, if I do say so myself. And I actually kind of like how the temporary tattoo shines through the wound, and I wanted to cover up my little heart tattoo because I felt like heart tattoos weren't very zombie-like, but you know, hey ho. Then I took a red grease paint. If you have a red face paint, a red lipstick, red cream blusher, whatever you have to hand will work. This is just the kind of starting colour because we're going to cover the whole thing in blood. But I'm taking a liquid latex sponge and just going over the whole wound in stippling motions with the red grease paint to give it that injured look. Then once I'm happy with how it looks, I went in with my blood, and you can use any blood. I like the kind of thicker, darker one because I think it looks more realistic. My one's from Kryolan. I will link everything down below that I feel is worth linking. So I'm just going all over that wound, and I'm filling some of the deeper wounds with loads of blood so it just looks nice and deep and gory. Make sure to kind of blend past the areas that don't have the wound on. Obviously this is all for the tutorial purposes, but if I was to wear this out to a Halloween party, I would go slightly further down my shoulder just so I don't have that distinctive line. So you want to keep kind of stippling the thick blood all over the wound, making it look nice and gory, and it does look pretty damn gross. This is what it would look like if I didn't do anything else, and I love it, but I decided to go all out, and again, you don't have to go all out if you don't want to. So I took a little bit of blood mixed with some red grease paint and black grease paint and went around my hairline to make it look a little bit more realistic, and also I went under my eyes, and to be honest I applied way too much under my eyes, but again, we make mistakes. I just applied a little bit of my lips by kind of smushing my lips together and applying the red on top to give it that natural kind of wrinkly effect, which is pretty gross, but you see what I mean. Under my eyes, blending it out, and then where I applied a little bit too much, I just took a cotton wool pad and went over everything just to kind of make it look a little bit more subtle, and played around until I was happy with the effect that it has given to me. And this is the finished look. I am so in love with this makeup look. I've filmed quite a few already. This is by far my favourite makeup look from my Halloween series on my channel. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I shall see you in my next spooky Halloween video. Thanks for watching.